My name's Zio, and I'm here to tell you about the Bouncer. Bouncer is a hybrid melee and casting class that excels in keeping its enemies on the ground. So without any further ado, grab your jet boots and your soaring blades, and let's bounce into battle. To kick things off, no pun intended, let's take a look at the core skills. We'll cover weapon-specific skills once we get to their respective segments. Defeat PP gain recovers PP whenever a nearby enemy is downed. Defeat Amplifier increases down duration by up to 20% for Bouncer main and 10% for Bouncer sub. Partial Destroy Advantage increases the amount of damage you deal, as well as reduces the amount of damage you take in accordance with how many parts you've broken on a given enemy. Elemental Decline makes it easier to induce an elemental down on enemies with photon arts. Further PA hits can boost this effect up to 3 times. Physical Decline works the same way but with physical downs. These are both augmented by Decline Amplifier. Bouncer also has techniques as part of its arsenal, just like Forces and Techers, but only with jet boots, which I'll explain here in a bit. Foy shoots a fast-moving fireball at your target. Charging it does an instant AoE. If anything blocks your line of sight though, it won't hit. Geek unleashes a fiery ring around its caster. Its charged version does a big fire pillar that hits 3 times at an AoE around the target. Barda shoots a fast-moving ball of ice at your target. Charging it shoots one out faster and stronger. Barda shoots out a wall of ice and a wide cone in front of you. Charging it makes the cone bigger and wider. Barda Blot makes a symbol around your target by using uncharged ice techs. After a certain number of spells, that symbol gets bigger. Detonate that sucker with a charged ice spell for big damage. Zonde summons a lightning bolt from the sky and also arcs towards enemies near the initial target. The charged one calls forth 2 smaller bolts followed by a bigger one. Zonde puts down a large ring that shocks anything inside of it 3 times. Its charged version unleashes a big ball of electricity overhead. Zonde Clad creates a ring of electricity around you as you land uncharged lightning techs. You detonate this with a charged lightning tech. So now let's take a look at Bouncer's weapons, starting with the jet boots. Each PA has a follow-up attack that you unleash by holding down that specific button. Jet Attack Extra adds a 4th hit to your melee combo. Jet Boots Element Set will add an additional effect to your PAs based on the element of the last technique you cast. Say you just cast Zonde, your PAs will gain additional lightning damage. This also makes your PAs accumulate Barda Blot and Zonde Clad. Jet Intensity will hit nearby enemies when you hold down your normal attack. You'll unleash a flurry of attacks that gradually speeds up, followed by one big final hit. Jet Sweep Jolt will fire off a single powerful blast. You fill up a meter by attacking or dodging, much like you would a Photon Blast. Thrust Drive will launch you towards your target after using a technique and hitting your normal at the right time. When you see that glow, that's when you want to hit your normal. When you dodge with the weapon action, Boot Trick Bounce Counter fires off a counterattack, and you can follow this up with a normal. Spinning Gust unleashes an upward somersault kick. Hold this down to unleash another explosive kick in front of you. Violent Gale unleashes a flurry of horizontal kicks in front of you. The held version does 2 hits followed by a powerful 3rd hit that sends you backwards. Fierce Wave lets off 2 shockwaves. The second wave doesn't travel as far, but it stays on screen for a couple of seconds, damaging anything that comes in contact with it. The charged version will unleash 2 shockwaves that stay in front of you for a couple seconds. You do have to be mindful of spacing with this though. So now we come to the Soaring Blades. These aren't as agile as the boots. Defense-wise, they don't really live up to that name. Fanatic Blade increases the frequency and potency of your photon blades for 15 seconds and is on a 60-second cooldown. Fanatic Blade Augment increases the number of blades that come out while this effect is active. Photon Blade PP Recovery increases how much PP you get back from your normals on enemies that are struck with your photon blades. Destructive Stork does a forward spin followed by a spinning circle of blades around you. Its altered version does 2 vertical spinning slashes. Rampaging Harrier unleashes a flurry of cuts in front of you followed by a rain of blades. Its alternate version fires off a horizontal stream of blades at your target. Roaring Pheasant will launch you forward with a series of vertical slashes followed by a powerful downward slice. Its alternate version will do a flurry of spinning slices. For subclasses, Fighter Sub synergizes nicely with Bouncer's down skills. And of course you have Force and Gunner for PP management. Jet Boots are very PP hungry, so Force Sub will help you out with that, in addition to Barda Blot and Zonde Clad. Now for skill trees, I have 2 of them, 1 for each weapon. I took Defeat PP Gain, maxed out Defeat and Decline amplifiers, and put just 1 point into Partial Destroy Advantage. Then I took all the weapon specific skills, then either physical or elemental decline. So now I ask you, what's some of your crazy Bouncer tech? You know how much I love chopping it up with you guys in the comment section and on the streams. As always, thank you so much for watching and for the continued support. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and remember, to thine own self be true. Until next time, farewell.